In this lecture, I'm going to demonstrate the visualization of two quantitative variables. You know what does it mean, quantitative variable? The example of two quantitative variable would be height and weight data. Let's look at some example first. The graph I'm going to explain is scalar plot. You might know that if you have two quantitative variables, it is widely used. Simply, you consider one of the variable is x-axis, the second variable is y-axis. Plot on the xy plane. That's all. If there is some group variable related with that, you can make some color to distinguish two groups. This kind of analysis we'll study deeply in the chapter 12. We call this is correlation and regression analysis. Here's the example. We have three variable data, gender, height, and weight. Okay. What you are curious? Depending on your height, typically the weight is increasing. Is it true? We'd like to see this kind of plot. In order to analyze some relationship between x variable and y variable, you can find a line. We call this is a regression line. Suppose you have some gender as a group, then you can make a color which is different, and you can do later the regression analysis. And sometimes you can make a certain dot can depend on certain variable. Okay, the size of a dot can be dependent on the value of a certain variable. Okay, let's demonstrate that. Do you have e-stat with you? Go to Chrome, type www.eStatMe, then click this button. There are examples on your textbook. Well, you have to click eBook, and then we are talking continuous data. This one. Well, we have 10 person. We check the gender, height, and weight. Okay. Well, these are the graph for continuous data. In the previous lecture, we discussed the three graphs. This one is for chapter 4. You click this scalar plot icon. Well, what do you want? If you click this, you see the first variable is y-axis. What do you want? Maybe you can make y variable as a weight. You'd like to check, depending on weight, what it would be. Second click will go to here, like this. Well, it's usual. I mean, if your height is high, then weight would be high. That's difficult. It shows some kind of a relationship. As I mentioned, this is correlation analysis and regression analysis. We'll discuss in chapter 12. We'll study that. You can find this kind of a regression line which can represent relationship and then some correlation. It shows correlation 0.92. It is very high correlation. Here, well, you can switch this variable. Since we have three, let's select one of them. Let's emphasize weight. Can you see that? Well, if weight is increasing, the size of this dot is increased. You can make it in this manner. Suppose you want to distinguish the male group, female group. In this data, we have a gender variable, then select group as a gender. Well, it shows that this person represent male. In each tab, we have a special function. If you click this, it just identify where is the data. Okay, maybe you can classify in this manner. They can find some kind of data what it is. Okay, okay, this is all for today. We showed you, we demonstrate how to plot scalar, how to visualize two quantitative variables. In addition to, maybe you can add some group variable, you can create a beautiful graph.